Imagine being dragged by an angry crowd, judged in a public square, pointed at by everyone, and thrown to the ground as if your life no longer had value. This is the scene that marks one of the most touching and transformative stories in the Bible. The adulterous woman, condemned by society, was about to be stoned. Her accusers were ready to take her life, using the law of the time as justification. But in the midst of the chaos, a voice rises. A voice that not only silences the cries of condemnation, but completely transforms that woman's destiny. This is a story of justice, mercy, and redemption. And today, we are going to dive deep into it. The story is recorded in the Gospel of John, chapter 8. The scribes and Pharisees bring before Jesus a woman caught in adultery. They were not just interested in enforcing the law. In fact, they were setting a trap to accuse Jesus. If he agreed with the execution, he would contradict the love and compassion he preached. If he let her go, he would be breaking the law of Moses. It was a carefully crafted dilemma. The crowd was attentive. All eyes were on him. The silence was heavy. And then, surprisingly, Jesus stoops down and begins to write on the ground with his finger. No one knows for sure what Jesus wrote on the ground. And perhaps the most interesting part is just that, because while everyone expected a direct answer, he chose silence and reflection. The accusers persisted. Then Jesus stood up and said that whoever is without sin should cast the first stone. With a simple and direct phrase, he dismantled the entire structure of judgment and hypocrisy that had been built. What was meant to be a public execution turned into a deep moment of collective awareness. One by one, the accusers began to walk away. From the oldest to the youngest, all dropped their stones and left. That woman, whom minutes earlier expected death, was now alone before Jesus. There were no more shouts, no more condemnation, only the sound of forgiveness. Jesus then asked where her accusers were and if no one had condemned her. Upon hearing that no one had, he declared that he did not condemn her either and told her to go and sin no more. It is in this moment that we understand the true power of grace. Jesus did not approve of the sin, but he offered a new chance to the sinner. This story teaches us that it is often easier to point out someone else's mistake than to recognize our own. The Pharisees were ready to throw stones, but when confronted with their own conscience, they realized they also had faults. And have you ever judged someone without looking at yourself first? The message here is not about justifying sin, but about offering paths to transformation. Forgiveness does not erase truth, but it gives us the opportunity to start again. This applies to all of us. Everyone carries mistakes, guilt, and flaws. But we also carry the chance to change. It's amazing how, with few words and a silent gesture, Jesus was able to undo an entire scene of hatred and punishment. The adulterous woman represents all of us when we fail. She represents the human being who makes mistakes, but is reached by compassion. Jesus' reaction invites us to act with more empathy and humanity. Instead of lifting stones, we can offer a helping hand. Instead of condemning, we can guide. This is not a sign of weakness, but of wisdom. It's because those who understand the value of forgiveness also understand the depth of God's love. Maybe today you feel like that woman, guilty, judged, afraid of the future. Or maybe you are among those holding stones, ready to criticize, condemn, or exclude. In either role, the message remains the same. There is a way back. There is a possibility for restoration. No matter the size of the mistake, when there is repentance and truth, there is also a new beginning. Jesus not only saved that woman from death, he gave her back her life, with dignity, with value, and with a new direction.
Wow.
If this story touched your heart, don't leave without subscribing to the channel, leaving a like, and activating the notification bell so you don't miss more messages like this. And share this video with someone who needs to be reminded that there is still grace, still forgiveness, still love. Because sometimes all a person needs is someone willing to stoop down, right in the dust, and choose the path of compassion.
Wow.
May you be that person. See you in the next video.